Today, I'd like to thank you for tuning in. And I'm so excited because the next episode of NovaSelfRISE is about to start off. And the mission is something that we've been discussing with Gau before recording this. And I was explaining that the whole purpose and the reason why we decided to bring the true stories of the people who are based in New Zealand to tell you, the listener, who is maybe also looking for the opportunity to move to New Zealand or already here, trying to identify and define their clarity around their career path, aspirations, and trying to find a new life in the new land. That's why we started to tell you the true stories of the people who are based here in New Zealand. And today I'm so thrilled and so excited to introduce you to my friend Gau Kurman. She is actually the first person, almost the first person I met in New Zealand. And her husband was here with actually almost meeting us when we landed here in Auckland back 5.5, almost 6 years ago. And I am so inspired by your story because Gau Kurman was a digital marketer for last decade. She's AI strategist. She is chief marketing officer of one of the best startup companies in New Zealand in AI, in AI space. And we will be talking more about it. But before I'll start talking about your professional background, you mentioned that the personality that is kicking in is important. And I really want to say that I'm so excited the way you are bringing your personality to your community, to things that you do, and all the positivity that you carry with that. So I'm looking forward to talk to you and really introduce you and enlighten people how beautiful your soul is. And one thing that we are focusing today is artificial intelligence. Ta-da! Right? And this is such a hot topic. And I know everyone is trying to get on top of it and understand what does it mean. But before we jump into discussing the artificial intelligence, I'd like to say that you are one of the co-founders of the startups in AI, SupaHuman AI, and in the role of the chief marketing officer. And you also mentioned that you're actually also help people, women, to find their new ways of leadership, new ways of feeling empowered and bringing the businesses to the world. So it's such an important and such an inspiring agenda to be focused on. So I'm really looking forward to see this flow of our podcast, how we're gonna unleash each and every layer of that, because you're so inspiring in the things you do, but also you are so inspiring in the relationships you build. So looking forward for this conversation.
Likewise.
And if you are, please introduce yourself, and I would love you to tell the story, your story. And as I said, the channel is focused for immigrants, for people who are based in New Zealand and maybe like us some time ago, trying to find the ways how to build a new life, in what direction we need to go, and especially in such a changing world. One of the things that is on the agenda of everyone at the moment, whether you are immigrant or not, is impact of artificial intelligence in the life, right? So I really want to understand why, first of all, your immigration journey, and obviously, what do you do in the space of AI?
Because otherwise you can easily get lost with that. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Estelle, for having me. It's such a pleasure. I'm very delighted. And I've been inspired by other episodes within the podcast. And I truly believe the podcast is going to bring so much beautiful shine for those stories with the people you have interviewed. And I've been inspired by them because every single one of them has a unique story to tell, and everyone has such a beautiful, profound way of seeing the immigration, which is awesome. So my immigration journey started in New Zealand about 8 years ago. Our family's immigration story is 10 years ago because my husband came here first at 2016 and started pursuing his career within the 3D animation, and we've been all inspired by Avatar and Lord of the Rings, all of these beautiful movies made in New Zealand, and we were thinking that New Zealand will open up the doors for his 3D career. So my husband came here first to study and to set his Kazakhstani flag over here and just start kind of his journey here. He graduated and he found a job. And then I've joined him with my little kids in 2018, and we moved to Christchurch and we lived there for a couple of years. Beautiful city, and we got the opportunity to travel around the whole South Island and really studied the new country. And since then I started pursuing my career within the digital marketing space, which I've been at the time. So in total, I have 12 years of experience in marketing, but at the time, I thought marketing is the number one thing that I want to continue doing within the new country, starting from scratch, no connections, and you just started your journey. It's like new chapter, new book, basically. That's what it is, essentially.
And so true. Sorry to interrupt, but. Your husband, he's really so creative. I remember one of the few things that I've noticed when we initially met you, how creative your family is. You in your marketing, and your husband, he plays the guitars, he does this very impressive video animations, and I'm like, oh my God, someone is really doing it, and this is a person who is doing it. So, but also 2 years being apart, just to kick the journey off.
Oh, if you ask me now how you've done it, I would say I have no idea how, but we've been so driven. We had this big idea of us starting the immigration journey, and it's probably for some people who might have ever faced the rejection. I totally get them, because we got our rejection first to Canada when we applied first. We applied to Canada first, we got our rejection, and we thought, that's probably the sign. We don't need to immigrate anywhere. Everything's great in Kazakhstan. We'll continue pursuing our careers and our dreams here. But then in reality, we thought, there's probably some other doors might be open, and that's curiosity led us to New Zealand, basically. And we actually very happy that it went this way.
Yeah, much warmer.
Much warmer.
I don't know. I'm not comparing the countries, and obviously everyone has their own reasons why. And Canada, New Zealand, Australia are usually
top choices.
Top choices for Kazakhstani people to think about the immigration. So I do get it. But let's come back to you and your story. So you moved to New Zealand with 2 little kids. Your husband kicking off your career, you're kicking off marketing career here.
It didn't happen immediately. Like nobody would wait you there with the job offering or just the great career opportunities. Especially in South Island, the Christchurch, we've been quite limited with the choices. But it took me 8 months actually to find my first job, and then my first job in marketing, because I've been trying hard. You get all of these different types of syndromes. One of the imposter syndromes, like, I'm so great, I'm good at marketing, I'm good at what I do, I'm so passionate, but I couldn't land a job. and you gotta hear 100 different no's before you can actually get accepted. So, but I landed a really nice job at the time. I was so happy because I was working for New Zealand Nutritionals. It's one of the top supplement suppliers within New Zealand. And it's all started. We've started with the brand new product. We've been selling collagen for women, marine collagen. It's quite a nice product, actually. I still use it. And you just start kind of your career from basically from scratch. You find your own way to get to know all the influences, all of these different channels, the Shopify, or the supply chain, all of these different bits, and then I had to adapt really quickly. And that's every one of us will have to adapt in a new country when we just start our career.
And talking about the adaptation, and not only as an immigrant, but especially in the world when everything is AI driven, it's really a disruptive intelligence. Like, it's a big shift, not only for the people who are immigrating, but overall to the industries. So what made you from jumping from the marketing and digital marketing into tech industry and AI?
So for the last 5 years, I've been within the tech space. I used to work for the biggest Web3 company in here, all of this NFT jazz and all these Web3 games and stuff. So we've been launching quite a few games before that. It was work for the company called Altered State Machine, which were then rebranded over to Futureverse. It's quite a big brand within the Web3 space. And at the time, the AI was a thing. It was just I was so fascinated by the technology. I realized how far we could have come if the technology unblocks on everything that we do. And I'm a big believer in productivity and efficiency, and kind of my curiosity led me to this space, AI. And I realized it's a really great opportunity for us to start leveraging the technologies to build those real connection with the audience, but at the same time to start educating the audience about what's coming up, how it could be adaptive to your world, what's possible, where the opportunity is. And I just started really being curious around AI. At the time, all of us worked, when I'm telling all of us, it's like 5 of us, we worked at a company called Ambit, and we've built a very smart chatbots. So for example, New Zealand Post has been one of the customers, and then if you can send a quick message to New Zealand Post saying, where's my parcel? And then chatbot will tell you, oh, it's actually been delivered to you, or here's the tracking number. So these are the small, really nice chats that allowed you. At the time, I was thinking, wow, it's such a great way to cut the all of this customer service time and be more efficient with those chatbots. And this is what we've been doing at Ambit. At the time, we met there, all of us, 5 of us, met there, and we decided should be some better way to work. There should be a provider who potentially could simplify this all for you, and this is how the SupaHuman was born in November 2023. Now I'm thinking about it, it's like we're approaching the 2nd year anniversary this year, and I'm like 2 years, and it's been a wildest ride of my life because it's such a huge journey to run your startup from the ground zero to the level where it is now.
Oh my God. And adaptability is probably one of the key skills that all immigrants have. And then in the startup business and growing up something very new, but at the same time in such a dynamic industry, it must be a lot of adaptation for you as well. So what do you think helped you, which skills do you think helped you to get through that quickly and
embrace the change, basically? Yes. I guess one of the skills that you kind of think about, let me take a step back a little bit, and then let's think about the business in general, or you as a leader thinking about the growth, being more efficient and manage your risks. So that's every single person within the leadership space that will be thinking about how can I grow my company, what's the best way to do so. am I limiting myself with the resources and maybe people, or I would love to hire more people, but I can't. There's some limitations in here. What's the best way for me to be efficient? Can I just spend, I just realized myself, like I get so much done now with AI, is if you think of it, 8 hours a day, and you can actually get things done within the 3 or 4 hours easily, and then the rest of the time you spend with the real connection, building up the connection with your teammates or your customers, and what are the best way for you to, you know, move these needles to be more efficient. And the third one is to manage the risks. So what is the, I don't want my company to get sued, or I don't want to be in the New Zealand Herald the next day or something. So what's the best way for me to manage my risks and mitigate those risks? And I guess that's the key things that you kind of got to remember, and then AI would be applicable for each of those stages, just because it's really easy to grow within the AI, because you can then, if you think of the marketing and the content generation, you can post and leverage a few different channels. Like if you used to do posts on LinkedIn and YouTube, now you can do across all of these different channels. It will allow, the technology will allow you to do that. And again, with the efficiencies, is how you could be more efficient. What are the tools will help you to become more efficient? And yeah, again, coming back to the risks, it's very important to manage those risks in time. So I guess it's the skills overall. You gotta stay curious. You gotta stay consistent with the technologies that you're using. But at the same time, you also got to be open-minded for those technologies to be, you know, not for you, for the technologies to drive your life, but you other way around. So you are in the driver's seat, and you basically manage those technologies yourself. And you're making a choice. There's always a choice.
And what helps you to make the choices?
I guess it's this curiosity when you're very much focused on, you've tried one thing and you really like it and you just stick with it, or you try another thing and you kind of staying curious, staying open, and you basically allow those technologies to come to your business and come to your world. And I guess it's just the openness to that, to be honest. It's you being open, you being you clearly see the picture of what it is happening that within my business that I could simply level up, where I can level up, or where I can manage my risks.
Okay, we were talking about, you mentioned about the openness and the adaptability. One of the things that each immigrant carries is adaptability. And yes, and especially dealing with a change, dealing with quite a big change like a disruptive AI. The whole industry is changing ultimately, and everyone is trying to catch the trend, find their food, and how to adapt, right? And my question is, what helped you and what skills helped you to manage that adaptability and really embrace that change and embrace the new world and new rules ultimately?
I remember when the internet came around. I know it's been overused, this kind of similar scenario, but I remember the companies that kept being as a brick and mortar and used to do things their traditional way, and how they left behind. If you think of the companies who are like within the S&P 500 at the moment, they all embraced internet at the time. They all moved away from any sort of like, you know, we know Ubers, like we don't really understand the concept of you calling someone to get you the taxi to get to the place where you want, right? So we all embrace the change within the internet space. Like same would happen with AI. So you either in or you're either out. And I know it sounds a bit harsh, but in reality it's all about being open to that. Start small, and then keep going until you find the best sweet spot for your business. Because if there's an opportunity, we're all limited by how fast we can read and how fast we can type. It's just our own kind of.
You can expand to the extent, but ultimately you are quite limited to your.
Or how many hours you can do so, right? So
that's right.
I don't imagine myself like staring up at the screen for 12 hours, right? So we can't do that, but AI can.
Yes.
And there's also another jobs like which we don't necessarily like all the time. So if we think about one of the customers, like geotechnical reports, and it's 60 pages of reports that they send to the Auckland Council to get their verifications and approvals, but within the 60 pages of reports that not necessarily you enjoy
all the
your
moment
time
of reviewing it.
all the mundane work that goes into that and creating these reports. You can actually do much more if some of the work that's been heavily admin work or super tedious work, what we call it, would be delegated to within the AI. And that's the way to balance the both technology adoption within your own creativity and your own intelligence within your business. I think it's a balance.
That's a good way of thinking about it. And earlier you mentioned that you want to be in the driver's seat for using the technology.
We should be that.
And being part of that is obviously from the perspective of the person who is already dealing with the change of the country, change of their day-to-day life, changing the jobs because they moved to New Zealand, or something that is already there, and on top of it you want to learn how to leverage it to bring the productivity up, to bring more efficiencies in your life. So what would be your recommendation, or how to stay curious, as you mentioned, what helps you to be that curious all the time and really taking that change in?
Just staying hungry, I guess. That would be my short answer. Just staying hungry and staying very curious on the technologies. I know we've got lost on what type of GPT model it is now. Like it just comes out every week or so. And that's pretty much impossible to catch up on every single new update that comes out from those LLMs. But if you just stay hungry and you think of your work as your potential, if you break down the entire work week into the three big phases, three big buckets, and you think, what are the admin mundane work that I not necessarily don't want to do, or it takes me ages to fill up the spreadsheets or to bounce. What is the best way to automate the jobs? And another one would be, what's the real connections that I can build with my audience or with my customers, or maybe that's just a phone call but will make a difference within my relationship with my customer. And the third one would be just as simple, what are the key strategic things that within my business that I could possibly get an AI to do and also save some time, but also I will get the space, because in so many ways we get into the work itself that we forget about strategic thinking and just taking the helicopter view of everything you do. And you would understand, actually, I wouldn't go this direction, or I shouldn't be launching this particular campaign, or things like that. So that's what helps you. But leaving this time for the strategic thinking is actually quite essential. And I've realized it's very important for me, because I get used to do all the work without necessarily living the strategic direction of thinking behind it sometimes. Yeah.
How you keep focus on that strategic thinking and finding your direction? What is your ways of dealing with it?
Is it business or personal?
It can be both, but you decide, you choose.
So if you think of the professional perspective, like what are the key things that will help you, the strategy perspective, I would highly recommend the book called Traction by Gina Wickman. That's the operation system, entrepreneurship operation system that we we basically amplify this within our business, and we break the whole year into the 4 pieces, into the 4 quarters, and within these quarters we set the rocks. It's just a key, clear focus for the quarter. We don't do anything else. It could be just the 3 rocks, key things that you want to accomplish this quarter, and then you set the goals and to-dos according to your goals, but 3 tasks, no more. Keep the clear focus for the rest of it. Professionally, but personally, I guess it's mostly, I just like to visualize things, you know. It's probably the modern way of my manifestation at the moment, but I'm a true believer in this, all the visual cards. I've got all the vision boards everywhere I go, like if I open my closet, or if I start my day with opening my laptop, I can see the direction where I should be going, and it sets my life for the success. Notion is a great way to, you know, package this all up in the nice boards and help you to visualize your goals and keep a clear focus. But also I do have a habit of spreading the year into the 4 quarters, as we do in business, and set each quarter with the success that I would like to achieve.
And how do you keep yourself accountable for the things that are on your list?
I guess that's the bad way of doing it. I'll tell you of the bad ways. How don't do that, because I used to do it, and it's quite painful. It's like you punish yourself, or you just say, "Oh, I'm not good enough. I haven't achieved this goal. I haven't done that," and you're criticizing yourself. That's the wrong way of doing it. But we all been there. We know what it is, and don't do it this way. This time around, I guess with age we all get wiser. And it's the opportunity for us to really look at the ways and seeing, oh, is it something that I really want? Is it something that truly believes to me, or is it something that I do just because I have to, or just because somebody else has done it and I kind of want to adapt and do my own version of it? And just truly understand the meaning behind it, why, right? So that's one thing. Another thing is just loving yourself and being super your best, cheering, the best friend for yourself, and just saying you can do it. It's not now, like you will achieve it anyways, and constantly have this good pressure, what I call it, like good pressure of cheering yourself and achieving this goal anyway. Doesn't matter which timelines you set yourself up to, but you'll get there anyways. Like that's what I truly believe is.
Yeah, very, very strong. And as you said, people are dealing with it in such a different ways and coping with if they're not doing or achieving what they think they should have to. And that is something people really try to maybe feel guilt a bit and all of that. So I think for the people who moved and for the people who are trying to reshuffle their life, right, in the new manner, one of the things that is quite resonating to me is really to keep focusing and taking care of yourself, like being
be yourself, the number one fan.
Be your own number one fan, and it helps with lots of ways. And I totally can connect with quarterly tasks, and achieving something 3 in 1 quarter makes it so focused and easily connecting and remembering and just focusing on those. It's quite a good way of dealing with your productivity.
But the other people will feel it as well this way. If you're cheering yourself up, you're being yourself, like you allowing yourself to be whoever you want in the new country. New country also allows you to start from scratch, do something that you never done before, or open up the doors that you never opened before, and you started the new experience within your life. And it's so amazing. It's a great opportunity to do that every time you move to a new country, right?
Yes,
so that's the beauty of immigration. But it's also another side of it is which you have to pretty much be
own cheerleader.
Own cheerleader.
Yeah.
Every time you get through the challenges in life, who else will support you? Yeah.
So true. So true. So, coming back to the world of your profession, and you talked a bit what you do in the business and how you get to your tasks and how you get the adaptability, how your adaptability helps to deal with it. One question that is, again, I'm not trying to be negative or something, but the feedback of AI from the excitement of 10 goes to fears of 10, right? So, and the scale is always moving up and down for different listeners. And obviously we all have our own biases about this. But to the person who is looking at this rapid change in the industries, people are really afraid that they can't find the jobs, or their skills can become irrelevant. And for those who are in that space, what can be your recommendation to be on the top of the technology, to follow the risk? And what do you think overall with that risk factor, how people treat AI, whether it's risk on its own, or is it really a great tool for all of us to use and leverage? So how you treat it, and what do you think where it's going? And for the people who have concerns around this technology, if you could give some recommendations.
I would ask yourself a question. First of all, do you do the job that could potentially be replaced by AI? For me, it's immediate, like a red flag. If you're doing the jobs that could be done by AI, for example, I'm not sure, but probably, I guess, that could be something like reading the X-rays. This could be done by AI potentially, but connecting to the patients, telling them the story, and giving them your recommendation from your bags of years of experience, it's a different story. But reading the X-rays, it's probably something that AI could possibly do in the future. We probably will be in a world where AI would be doing those jobs. So asking yourself, is it something that, do I have those red flags within my within the jobs that I'm doing? And then there's always the risks, and the risks could be done not just because of AI. I guess the more fears come from the place of that where, like, the economy situation might be different. People get laid off and can lose their job easily nowadays, and it's not just because of AI. That could be possibly by some other reasons. But if you think of the fears, I guess we all have to adapt, and that's the perfect opportunity for that now. Just within our work and everything we do, is there are ways to leverage the technology. If there is a way, we should be embracing it. If there is no way, like, you keep doing what you're doing. So within marketing space, I would completely see this as going as a really huge shift, just because of the way how we consume the content nowadays, how we build the brands, how we build the connection, the true connections, how we leverage channels. I've been in Traffic and Conversion Summit over in Vegas last year, and they've been sharing the story where they've leveraged AI, and as you know, in US there's quite a large number of Spanish-speaking communities, and what they do, they embrace AI and use AI to get to these audiences who are Spanish-speaking, just because they know how to leverage those channels, and their channels grew up much more significantly because of that, and they're enlarging the audience, they're enhancing their products to those target groups that they haven't targeted before. So it's actually giving them a much more room for growth, basically. Again, coming back to those three buckets: growth, efficiencies, and risks. And yeah, for me, it's all about embracing the change, but also asking yourself, what is something that we could do? If I would ask you, for example, what would be, would you like to work 5 hours instead of 8 hours and spend more time with the kids? Like,
Obviously,
sure all of us.
Yes, obviously, the answer is to get all the routines covered off by AI. That's a perfect
outcome for everyone. Yep.
Things that it's already doing, right? Things that you would use, like even simple things like writing of emails, figuring out your tasks list, and there are so many things I use in Copilot space because of that, because it always gives lots of productivity related
but I think
easy answers.
But I think what we really have to be doubling down into is the real connection with our customers, real connection with our audiences we're targeting, our partners, building those partnerships, and thinking about what are the best way for me to connect with this person, or just having a simple coffee chat, which unlocks all this, buzz around on LinkedIn. When you open up the LinkedIn feed, you can actually see every single post about AI nowadays. So it's a lot of noise.
Yes.
So how can I cut through the noise and really build those connections? I think that's truly key. And podcast is one of them, right? So it's awesome that you decided to launch the podcast and have this real, authentic, beautiful connections with people.
And that's what matters the most to me, especially when technology is changing so much, and everyone is talking to those chatbots and agents, and you may be even talking to agent without knowing that that's the agent, right? So, which is all right in some certain tasks, but for some conversations where the true connections matters, I think that is the power that human has.
And then within the leadership space as well, like what will help me to become a better leader? How can I work on my management skills better? How can I hire the best talent possible? These are the things that probably will help you to speed up in the space and be more efficient in the space if there's some mundane tasks would be allocated to AI.
Leadership, it's a broad topic, and especially with AI, I've noticed that some leaders really consider the automation as one of this aspect, but really keeping focused on the development. What do you think will be the key focus, given the changes that are happening in the industries, for the leaders in the developing their people?
I like this question so much, because the leadership was never about I'm embracing this technology and look how I've done it. It's all about, again, connection with people around you, and making someone to look up to you and actually go together with you. You holding their hands just to get them there. I guess leaders should be more open for education and sharing the education, whatever they know about the technology, just sharing from their own lens, or this is how we've done it. I think in New Zealand at the moment we're underestimating the power of stories, the use cases, and this is how we've done. So, for example, the company sharing to the X company about this is how we've done it. This is what it took us to do. These are the resources. These are the timelines within the space. This is how we adopt the technology within our organization, and just genuinely sharing that. I think that's something that probably we all see lack of it, just because of the people working there. Your business is your business, kind of you working in the silos a little bit. So I think one of the key events that we thinking to organize here is like AI summits, which is coming up in a couple of weeks' time. It's the opportunity for businesses to share with each other what are the key ways to adopt the technology and really see the progress, because not everyone's sharing the outcomes of the AI. Everyone talking about AI is like implementation, but no one talks about the outcomes, the ROIs, the how many people's got
true cases.
Have people lost their job because of the AI, or they've just been replaced, or they've just shifted their focus to different things. So I think we are underestimating the level of sharing, like share the case studies a little bit more. So I think that's what you would do as a leader, and keeping your team, I guess, also motivated. I know there are some companies in New Zealand, they have specific bonus system if you use an AI. If you use an AI within your space, it's so cool. And sometimes it comes from you would think of, marketing could be using it, or creative or design or art departments, but it's actually coming from finance, for example, where they are like finding the ways how to better automate the systems and the invoices and cut through some of this unnecessary expenses because of the technologies, and they found a way to do that. So I guess in overall, like, leaders should be thinking about the education, the sharing that's what within their business, and not hiding behind, but sharing with others, because someone else will pick it up. But sometimes I do understand the reason why. I feel like some companies find it as a competitive advantage, and they don't want necessarily share what they've done because they see the technology is being adapted well, and they see this as a competitive advantage.
And in your background, can you share the examples when you had those successful cases and you really were able to showcase them and have those effectiveness being measured behind those projects? Do you have those type of projects, and can you talk about them maybe briefly?
Sure. Yeah. So one of the key industries that we focus on is the education, and within the education space we had a beautiful company called Master Academy, and they are training providers. They write the program according to the NZQA unit standards, so everything should be according to the standards. So this company, this organization teach you how to build the boats, and it takes them 6 to 8 weeks to create the study material, and another 2 weeks to create assessments for their students. So it's quite a lot of work that goes into it. Plus, on top of it, they have to spend about 2 weeks back and forth within the conversation with their subject matter experts. So they check all of what they've written, they check with subject matter experts. And within the year, they have 800 unit standards. Means that they have to create 800 study materials, 800 assessments. So we've now automated this work for them. And from 6 weeks, the work that they've done, it's all down to 6 minutes. And the work that's basically done in the same way, again, human, always in a loop, and they check all the outcomes of the unit standards or their study materials. They sign it off and send it back to their learning management systems. But the reality is that this work has been basically that you can just slash this time within the minutes. And they actually now started growing their other programs. They've launched a few other courses, and they're thinking of the ways of what's the best way to connect with our students. Do they need additional support? Can we support them even more? So actually students wins, their trainers wins as well, technical writers wins as well. And in fact, that's one of the great use cases when you can actually adopt the technology in a way that works for everyone.
So in AI space, obviously ChatGPT and Gemini and some others, it's been such a scale of AIs with a different codes, different approaches to deal with. So what is your takeaway? How do you kind of embrace that one, and how you prioritize which ones are useful, and this one I can spend my time and curiosity to leverage and see how it works for me, and yes, this one I don't know if I have time to do that or not, because to me, I think there are so many choices at the moment, and just choosing and where to start, and what would be your criteria to start. Any insights?
I'd say usually people stick with one platform. If they are with ChatGPT, they usually say, "Oh, ChatGPT already knows everything about me. I'll stick with ChatGPT." For them to switch to Gemini, it's a big headache, because Gemini, you have to start everything from scratch, telling your story. This is how I am. This is how I work for this.
That's
how
I think, and this is what people I need to know about.
Exactly. You gotta give and feed it up with the context. And the context is the king, right?
Yes.
Context, without context, you will get like average results because of the prompts that you are giving to your GPT or to other LLM platforms. I think the next layer, level 1, is choosing the right platform. But how to choose the right platform is by asking yourself a simple question: is this platform going to save my time? Is going to make my life easier? Yes or no? And then if it does, then you keep using it
and filling with the context.
Filling with the context. So for me, for example, one of the first things that I've done is with Claude, is using Claude has actually been much more helpful for me to use the ChatGPT. And at the time, I realized that Claude gives me the better outcomes. So it's just either preference or the way how you just manage your work. You can use both systems at the time. And I've recently done a video presentation for my team. So I've uploaded. There's been 3 minutes or 5 minutes that I want to share with the team, like key outcomes, key insights of this and this conference. And I've chunked the whole data into the Notebook LMs, and Notebook LM created the beautiful, nice video presentation, not just the audio, because it used to do the audio, like podcast variation of it.
Yes.
But now it's actually doing the video presentation of the work, and I've actually presented 3 minutes on the screen, and it's all been nicely, beautiful set up. But if I would do it, it would take me ages to do so, right? So hours to do so. So it's just finding the right platform and maybe playing more with it. Again, coming back to the openness and being open-minded about the technologies. This is how I would choose. But the next layer of it is actually, what can we do as an organization to start using the technology that understands our industry, understand our business, and fully understand the context behind it, and fully understand the for me as a marketer, what's really important is the tone of voice and sounding and being on brand all the time. And how can I actually get there if I just have a general technology. That's why we exist, because basically we create this sort of like contextual layer on top of your existing LLM model, and this helps you to have the org intelligence for your business, basically. So finding the best way to get the right tool, but also think of the ways on how can I leverage those tools, how can I get into the next level. And it's like, it's educating yourself, I guess, so that's really important. Nowadays you can get certifications on Google, AWS, everywhere, and you can study AI. I think we should be studying AI a bit more. Like, we should be actually studying it all the time, understanding it from ins and outs, play with it, and actually through the playing, we will get the key outcomes that we want eventually. Build those AI agents potentially for yourself.
Okay, let's talk about AI agents. And your experience with them. So professionally and maybe personally, do you also create agents, and what is your
the simplest way to get started would be within the ChatGPT there is an option to create your own GPT, and if you feed it out with the data, and you can actually have some documents that you want to check in there, so it knows and understands the context again.
Yes.
That's the simplest way of doing it. And using the agent mode within the ChatGPT again will allow you to bring that. For me personally, I was fascinated by, there was a company which I wanted to understand the whole invoicing and just have all the invoices in one place. And I've asked ChatGPT basically, can you pull me all the invoices from these companies, and then which of these invoices hasn't been paid, or what's the total number, blah blah blah. And it just done wonders, because it looked at through my Gmail and picked it up all the invoices and handled me with the data, which was really cool and saved me so much time. So that's just the personal, and within the professional lens, I can always see a huge opportunity with these AI agents, because you can build one for your own department. You can have it for the company, and the whole company using the same agent. Within marketing, we've built the AI agent who doing the trend watching. So for example, you have the content that you want to post, but you don't know exactly which content pieces would strike or which one would, we will always
have
experimenting.
Proper reaction and everything.
Yeah. But then within that space, you can actually see the trends. You can actually see how those keywords been picking up for you. What are the keywords for you to use in order for you to create the best content? And it analyzes all the other creators that you might pick. So you might pick 10 to 15 different creators. Again, check it in data. It analyzes their content. It analyzes your potential content that you want to create. And it creates the really nice scenarios for your own videos that you could create, which is awesome. It gives you all of these scenarios. All you have to do is just to film them, and then it summarizes the analytics for you, and it gives you another insights for the next round for all the things. So that's within the marketing, could be another AI agent that you can use for yourself, for your own content creation, and for somebody who's building up the brand and working on the thought leadership. That's a great way to start.
That's amazing.
I've been using it with N8N. Yeah, it's a great tool. Again, it's another level with using.
Yes.
And all of us just have to, I guess, it's a lot of materials on YouTube for you just to get started.
Yes.
I guess that's the best way, following these YouTubers and find a way. But again, it's so easy to get overwhelmed, because it's, again, a lot of noise, a lot of,
I think at some point we will be choosing and really defining our own ways of productivity and adaptation to AI.
And right? for each individual, it's different.
And for each individual, everyone will be feeling closer to one way of working with AI and doing things the other way for some other aspect of work. And that's totally fine. We're all different human beings, and we approach things differently, and that's the beauty, right? So I think that's really kind of we probably won't have similar answers for all of us, but more my interest sits more in that bias in terms of how we can broaden up our view and our horizons in terms of dealing with it, and especially when, let's say, you are focusing on your career and you want to level up, knowing that those productivity tools exist there, and how I can leverage them. Obviously, yes, you feed in the prompts, then the question starts, how can I be more productive with my prompts? How can I bring in the context in more quicker way? So it gives me the result that is relevant, that is applicable, etc. Right? So in that space, I think there are lots of things that we're all testing as users. But in terms of that career change and shift, what do you think are the opportunities to get that done quickly? Like, what will be, how AI can help to get a bit more clarity in terms of your next moves and keep your focus on improving your job or improving the results you are delivering?
I know I had a conversation with one of the HR managers just recently, and I was asking her, she was hiring finance managers and accountants, and also people within the HR space as well. So she was telling me that they are actually asking within the interview at the moment, do you use AI tools, or how do you see yourself using those AI technologies which will allow you to unblock or leverage your career. And it's actually quite important for them. It's became one of the things that, and she says, like, those who don't use AI or don't know how to use AI, they actually like in a less priorities list, because people want to see within the organization those AI enthusiasts who are bringing those technologies but actually using them as well. And that's one of the things that just simply start again embracing it. But within the career, how would you understand it? Again, it's probably coming to the coaching session first, understanding your priorities and the way which direction you want to go. And then secondly is asking yourself a question is, what's the what is it something that I can get now with the technology? What are the low-hanging fruits that I can possibly get first before I would move into the full AI adoption? Or just because if you tell someone like, you got to be using Claude, you build your N8 AI agents and all that, but the person just started using the ChatGPT, kind of you got to understand the levels of what's the level of entry, right? So it's quite a broad topic, but for those who's just starting, I think it's the best way just to staying curious and finding what it is, something that will help you to move the needle now, and potentially be super clear on your goals and vision and on the trajectory of your career. I think that's the key.
Very interesting.
But it all starts with coaching, I believe. So everyone should be coming to you first.
I think finding the clarity is so important in whatever things you are trying to use. You mentioned at the beginning that you need to know your why, right? Understand why you're doing that, why it should be your priority. And that one of the things that I think, obviously in the coaching sessions, we investigate and try to understand and explore a bit more, so the person have that comfort of dealing with it. So it's but coming back to the AI topic and some of the projects, obviously everyone is curious whether you are a user. I believe most of the folks who are interested in the career development, they've been with ChatGPT, they've tried different platforms, and they have their own preferences to some extent. The question is, let's say in the corporate world, when one of the things that I kind of noticed, sometimes it's not only enough to be the enthusiasts, you need to really build the connection to get the other person or be on board. Like, okay, what that agent can do, like why do we want to build it, and what are the possibilities and how to explore those. So in terms of the projects that you mentioned, the cases like in your marketing department, so when there is an opportunity to develop, let's say, one of the agents, you know the context, you know what you want them to do. So how does the workflow go? So you go into the platform, you create the agent, you start testing it, and at some point you release it. What is the process for you?
I guess it depends on the agents, and then why you're creating that agent and what's the main capabilities
you are trying to build in.
You should try to build in within this agent. But basically that connecting the dots, the processes that you have already, is just amplifying them through the technology. What I think some wrong way of doing this is people used to get the same process. It's been for the last 5 years. Now with AI, they've changed the entire process up and down, and they're trying to do it with the new way, which could be very stressful and could be less efficient. But if the process works, you can understand what are the people, process, and the platforms I have to do within my agents. So what will help me with that? So who needs to be involved? People, right? What's the processes that's used to work for you really well, and being super clear on those processes. And then again, the same processes would apply to the technology and the technology system that you're using, either this AI agent building platforms or connecting a few different dots together through Zapier, or what's the best way for you to build that under one platform or a few different platforms, right? And then again, testing it all out 100 times before it goes and being released in the production. And within the production, start using it yourself and then teaching the others how to use it. That's the only way. And then again, the more complicated tasks you give to your AI, the better, because then AI could actually pick up and risk adverse, or just simply tells you when is your incidents or things that happens with your business from technical perspective. We have all those agents working within our business, so it tells us when something goes wrong. We actually get notified, which is really awesome. So some humans, it could be middle of the night and we couldn't see things, or we just limited, right, with our working hours. Yeah. But with an agent, they can always work for you. So finding the best way to build this all in, but get help with someone if you don't know. Like get help of AI engineers, or get help from the study sources, and trying to find your best way to implement those. Test it, and then release it to the world. I guess that's the only way. I haven't seen any like magic. I haven't seen the clicks, and I think a lot of us within the businesses, we think that AI come to the business and do all the wonders, and it could just create the magic for you and all of your problems will disappear. But in fact, it's not going to happen because of the AI, unfortunately, just yet. But
yeah, I can totally relate that you need to understand your process flows. With any automation, with any process change, your point A is important, and who is running that point A, and whether they are supporting your point B at the end, and with leveraging the productivity tools or AI or agents in whatever way there is a process to get your customers at the buy-in to for them to understand the benefits, let's say, and then you can kind of really mention that this is a project, that this is really implemented project. And so it's very exciting space. And talking about more, coming back to the immigration and your journey of getting into this industry and getting your experiences in here, what would be, if you were meeting yourself, let's say 5 years ago, and you would know that this is where I'm going to be in 5 years, what would you recommend to yourself to focus on or to consider like more? And because I think it's good when you have the experience, you can have a look back and understand. But for the person who is still trying to find his or her foot on the ground and trying really to shift the, let's say, tech career, or really make a proper change, the change that he anticipates by heart, right? So what would you recommend to yourself?
Really good question. That's the best way to do to give yourself a piece of advice would be, for me personally, just starting small and starting building your personal brand and build your network at the same time. I think I've underestimated the power of personal brand at the time, and I think the more you build those connections, the better. Even on LinkedIn, you build up your personal brand. And what I started noticing, and I did small experiment, every Friday I met somebody new for a coffee, for a coffee day. And this is how I build up the network throughout the years. And this is a good way to start if you're in a new country with no connections. We're in such a small country. We've got people working and people knowing each other. We've helped us know. We knew this person from previous lives or previous companies. And it's such a common thing here in New Zealand. So the more connections you build, the better, and the more authentic you'll be on social media and embrace the social media and leverage those channels, the better. I would say if I would start 5 years ago, I would leverage social media channels a bit more and taking it actually seriously. Because within the nowadays, if we would have posted, we would have our millions of subscribers. I don't know back by then, but there'll be a chance like I would do it all from the beginning. And this is what I see happen quite a lot. And these are all the leaders and people who are very extremely successful within their careers. And I watched this Diary of the CEO series, and all of them talking about the power of personal brand, the power of building those brands that you actually will have those channels that you can leverage and influence, but at the same time being your own expert within your field and sharing this knowledge and work on your thought leadership and actually doing the work, the world a better place for others as well, just because you're sharing, you're being open.
I love it. And it's so powerful to know how sharing can create even more impact around you, and especially in terms of the benefit it can bring to the people. Like I remember having the people were saying that I've listened something years ago and it still stays with me. Like I'm like, wow, I even didn't notice that it was happening. And when you hear that kind of feedback,
small talks really matter.
Yes, they do.
You can meet someone in a supermarket and tell what they do, and they will be, oh, I found you on LinkedIn, or we bumped into each other at the other event, and this is how you build those connections. And it's really powerful because we've got, I think, compared with other big cities and big countries, we have the real opportunity to go deep with our relationships and really embrace those networks and actually help each other more. This is what I feel like within the business community space. People helping each other, people connecting with the relevant people not just focusing on seek to find the best candidate, but we actually leverage our networks to get access to the best candidates and all of that.
Talking about the best candidates, what is your definition of best candidate?
Oh, I guess it's the alignment with the values. We set the values when we started SupaHuman as being be hungry, be human, be just general, be the person who would be in the space and fully understand the space. Just simply, get it, want it, have the capability to do it, and fully live and breathe AI potentially. That's that's our own definition of the best candidates. But again, we meet people and they're great, and they have, despite the fact that they don't have their degrees within the AI, but they have quite a strong technical background, we consider them because they are passionate about it or because they want to make a change within their career and make some impact to the companies that we build with. So I think it's all about, you kind of feel these people straight from the miles away, and you kind of have this click. So I guess that's the best way to improve. But I don't know, that's my way. Like I'm always driven by the intuition and gut feeling. But for men it might be different. But I guess alignment with the values, that's the key. Love it.
Gut feeling. Very interesting topic. And being on the same page with your values is really powerful. And I totally agree, especially when we are trying to build a network, or trying to find a new job. And for the person who maybe have those values but can't properly communicate and deliver it, or he or her, she's not on the social media to show and present all of that. But for the person who is maybe just trying to get on that footstep, what would be your recommendation how to get it right out there? And what would be the methods? Because we don't usually talk about values, right? But we feel that the person is at the right value or aligned with what we think. So what do you think is a way to maybe focus a bit more on the improvement side of things? Like if I want to improve and if I want to become that person who would be interested in me, so what should I do to get in that space? What would be your recommendation?
I think asking the right questions maybe from the beginning, just to see if your values actually align with the values of the companies, and asking this company, what do you actually expect from this person to jump on board and roll up their sleeves and start working on something? Does it excite me? Do I want to be there? What's the environment behind me, right? So is it the people who embrace the change and they're all kind of easy going, or do I have to cut through the so many different challenges to get the work done within this organization? You kind of feel it straight away. But for those who want to improve on that, I would say it's asking the right questions and at the same time know exactly what you want. Again, coming back to the same thing, clarity within your and focus with your own direction of your career, and just see if this company or this person I'm choosing to become my business partner, do they actually help me get there to my direction, to my final point, or it will be more like a distraction for me. So just understanding that, and then say no, it's also fine. I think as immigrants, we, especially in the beginning, we kind of tend to say yes to a lot of things, even if it doesn't align with our personal values or our personal career aspirations. We usually say yes because we want to adapt quickly, and we want to be seen. We want to become someone when we enter in the new country. So I guess it's the key thing, just being bold and keep saying no, because actually saying no will lead you to where you want to be.
Let's talk a bit more about your own shift from the moment when you've been as employee and then the moment you decided to get into the business yourself. So what was your driver, and when did you feel that this is the right moment for me to do that?
I always had this entrepreneurship bug inside me since I was 9 years old. It's actually a funny story because I talk about this quite a lot to my mom now. It's just thanking her for the opportunity for me to sell the flowers at the time just before the Women International Days. That's the big thing in Kazakhstan. And I actually realized the power of entrepreneurship, because then I can connect with those women, understand what they want, what type of bouquet do I want to serve them with. And that was my actually first ever touch to the business when I was 9 years old. And that helped me to understand that with this money that we've got from 3 days spending on this mini family business, we actually have quite a lot of choices. And that's what I was been driven by the fact and idea that if I will get into the entrepreneurship, I will get more choices. What I would do. And I think it's a luxury nowadays to have those choices. Do I want to spend the day working from my lovely kitchen, or do I want to work and go to the office? It's also been those choices that I've been always like cherishing and really understand the power of it. I'm also actually so grateful for the opportunities that I see now, so I can make those choices myself. But what got me into the entrepreneurship is the opportunity to, again, share more, like just being more out there, sharing more the ideas. And if you get the choice to work with people that you love and do the work that you love, I think incredible things will happen. And it's a really big happiness within your life when you have all of this clicked together, and you kind of in this flow, and no one will stop you, and the opportunities are endless because you're set the limits to yourself by yourself. And I guess it's a big chunk of work that you have to go through before, and embracing all of these changes within yourself and understanding where you want to go, what's my directions been. It's a lot of people I've been inspired to being entrepreneurs, a lot of people I've been looking up to that's been entrepreneurs, and it sets those foundations are all coming from childhood when at the time my parents got to do this Amway business, and then we had all of these different books, and then instead of me partying and going somewhere, I was just reading those books, and all of these books will taught you the same lesson, like you can do those things, you can become whoever you want, you want to become an entrepreneur, here's the way to do it, here's the way to start. So I always knew I want to be within the entrepreneurship space, and probably will never look back.
Exciting and so inspiring. We actually had quite similar story, and I've been on the markets as well when I was a kid, and the energy there is always so amazing. And those distribution companies are also quite a business, and the way they kind of bring up the motivation and the drive. It's another level, but interesting. And now when you are doing, and especially being a mom and being a woman in the business and being an immigrant in the business in New Zealand, so tell me more, how do you feel, and being in tech industry as well, so what are the things that helps you to keep staying motivated, have it all, deal with it all, and be energized as you are? So tell me, what is the secret?
There's no secret. The only one thing is the trade-offs. You have to have the trade-offs, otherwise you couldn't be keeping up with everything. For me personally, whatever is considered, take kids for example, if somebody needs the volunteers within the parents coming and handing up the Halloween decorations or everything, I'm not there because it's just not within my interest space. I got some other priorities, and I would prioritize me going to work or doing the work for the customers and doing some other things and studying as opposed to going to school. So you got to have those trade-offs, and you got to find help. So within this help, my help at the moment is I'm lucky because my kids are grown up already, and they have all the opportunities to make themselves a sandwich or just taking care of themselves, and my husband, who just does half of the housework together with me, so it helps me a lot. And just understanding those bits where you can delegate the work, but at the same time, what are the trade-offs within your environment, within your work, that you could potentially delegate. And then mom supported me a lot when Camilla was born, because she's now 1.5 years old, but mom was there and stayed with us actually when I've decided to, since she was born, I've decided to go back straight to work because I had an extreme FOMO of this AI and disruptive technologies, and I had a fear of something goes wrong while I'll be in maternity leave. So I decided to come back to that straight away. So I guess it's the things that, what are the key things that you can possibly trade off? That's the only one answer. But women can have it all. I don't believe that there's either or your career or kids, or is it the entrepreneurship or 9 to 5? You can have it all at the same time. It just depends on how you would prioritize. Again, being more productive, staying efficient, staying clear with your goals, and understanding your full power, I guess. Because I have a terrible fear. I have a fear that we won't be able to do it in 10 years' time or in 15 years' time. I know that entrepreneurs could start anytime, and we have seen so many beautiful examples when they started their 40s or their 50s. But I'm a true believer that if you feel this gut feeling and you feel this drive to go, you gotta go. You gotta go. You go on full. You gotta be on fire, because otherwise it's just the overthinking and other bits that keep you distracted. You wouldn't get there where you want in 5 years' time, and then you'll be like, why it's so happening? But if you actually feel this power now, you gotta take it, embrace it, and
I think this is very common with lots of entrepreneurs that I talk to. They have that beautiful power of being on the flow without, like, for me, for finance, for internal auditor background, right? Like you have like super kind of proven background, history, and some type of proof that it's all achievable, etc., etc., to get started. And it feels sometimes like a holding, more holding rather than the power on its own. And when I talk to entrepreneurs, they can, I can deliver that. I can do that idea. I can get into that, and let's see how it goes. And I'm like, this is so incredible. Like, really, the way maybe the mindset is.
Oh, mindset.
Yes, it really shifts the mindset of being just in that space and being ready to jump in, even if not everything is known, and probably nothing known.
No blueprint. Nobody tells you what to do.
That's it.
Nobody tells you how to do it, and then somebody else probably haven't done it, and you don't have all the answers. But you gotta embrace. And actually, more proud of my failures than I'm proud of my successes, because it's all of us could relate to that, because failures made us the ones who we became now. It's another thing, because depends on what we consider as the failures, right? So we might consider those things that we're missed opportunities, or things that we made the wrong decision at the time, or we haven't been good enough at this particular space. So I always felt that. I always felt like that. Oh, that's the failure. That's something I haven't done in the past. Like that's I could have done this better. I always had this kind of in my mind, but then I've realized it distracts me from the actual thing that I want. And it's fine if you kind of get into the same situation again. It teaches you, but you move on. You take your learnings and you carry those knowledge to the next experience. You actually do it better. So I think what helped us when we just started SupaHuman, it was all about, just finding the best practices. 5 of us, 5 individuals working in different companies and with different backgrounds. What is the best thing we've seen in other companies, or what are the things that we want to bring to our organization that probably no one else did it before? And that's been quite powerful, because we brought the best of the best experiences in the company, and we stick with it. We've documented them. We signed it with the blood, tears, and fears, and we actually just decided to carry with that principles.
Very interesting. So it's probably not the failures, but the lessons that you get through. Did you find a way of dealing with them like quicker and more efficient with the experience of having those lessons? And what is your way of shaking it off?
I get this rule. I quite like it. I don't remember where I first heard about it, but I give myself 48 hours. So 48 hours, I allow myself to do whatever I want. Like, I can cry, I can procrastinate, I could simply blame my entire world around me, whatever I do, but I give myself this time to live with this emotion. And in 48 hours, it just disappears by itself, or I've changed the perspective, I shift the focus. And this simple practice helped me quite a lot in a lot of situations like that. So I don't really carry this heavy, the things that really worried me forward, because they just simply there to teach me something. I took my learnings and I ran away with that.
Nice. I love it.
I think it's one of the coaching's methods.
Yes.
It's just to carry this for 48 hours no more.
Good.
We can just meditate on that as well.
Yeah.
It all go away.
So do you meditate?
I do meditate. So our beautiful friend Aida, she's a TM teacher for more than 20 years. She taught me the technique of transcendental meditation. And as soon as I knew that it's Oprah's meditation, so that's the meditation that she practiced, I've signed up for it straight away. I was like, whatever Oprah's doing, I'm in. That's probably the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And I got trained. So you do 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes at night. And it's a really nice way for you to stay focused, stay deep inside, and just have this opportunity, this time for yourself.
Nice. And do you mind sharing, like, what are your insights? How do you feel before, within, and after the meditation?
Meditation is a whole different topic by itself, right?
Yes.
So, but I'd say what helped me to stay focused is it's like within the ocean, you feel quite calm deep inside, and that's what transcendental meditation, that teaches you how to get into the alpha state within the deep depth of your calmness quite well, and you can actually do that within those techniques. And 20 minutes is actually enough time for us to embrace that, to feel that. Once we get into the depth of the ocean, we just feel nothing. We feel very calm. There's no emotion. There's no thoughts coming out to your mind. And you actually feel very relaxed. And after that, you can run away or do some activities that's quite, and just the whole madness, morning madness starts for me as well, just packing up all the lunch boxes and sending everyone out from the doors. And I guess what helps you with the meditation is just hearing your soul a bit more, like understanding your soul, what you really want, your spiritual journey, your understanding of your soul, body, and mind, all of it together under one hood, and fully relax your mind, relax your body, which will help you to achieve even more.
Beautiful. I love it.
Everyone has to meditate. I truly believe that everyone has to meditate, because we deal with a lot of stress, and why the depression happens because of the constant challenges within life, and we don't know how to deal with that, and all of them come together, and that's the final piece, meditation or depression, and you just blow up, right, at one time. But for this to not happen, you actually do something on a daily basis for you to get to the point where you feel very calm. You leave all the heavy unnecessary things. You're not carrying forward throughout your day. You just simply leave it there. It's an art. I truly believe it's an art. It's but it took me quite a while to learn this. It didn't happen straight away. Find the technique that works for you.
I think to me it's so beautiful that it is accessible within, and that's on its own. I think we quite often search for the answers, but all the answers comes from within, and it's really amazing.
Another great thing, you have to do it throughout. You kind of have to implement within your daily schedule. You don't ask yourself, should I brush my teeth or not in the morning? You kind of do it anyways. It's the same with the meditation. You kind of have to chuck into your routine, basically. That's what helps you to stay consistent.
And people meditate, I know, in different ways.
Yes.
And some people meditate through running. Some people meditate through relaxation and meditation, etc. Some people maybe pray, and everyone has their own method, and it's totally fine. But I agree, it's so important when we come back to that place, and it is so powerful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now, I know we were targeting the AI and talking superhuman a bit more, but I think our conversation went quite beyond, and I'm really glad for that, because I think your leadership style, your entrepreneurial mind, and the energy you carry is quite powerful and is quite beyond the artificial intelligence, and I think it's really very interesting conversation the way we kind of brought it up. Is there anything that you want me to ask you?
Oh, that's a nice question. Thank you. I guess within the AI space, just to summarize in this, I guess what are the key things that you yourself the most excited about? In terms of the AI space, and how you
I'm enthusiast, and I'm quite into AI, and I love the idea of the productivity it brings. It helps in such many ways in our daily lives, and I think the most fascinating part of it feels like it's just the beginning. And I think that is so powerful, meaning that we can all learn and leverage it even more, and we become better with our prompting, better with the way we're using it, finding those cases where we can easily implement them. And I think I liked how you always were pointing that the true power is behind the relationships, whether you are talking to your customers, to people you work with. I think the power is there. And if we get the noise of maybe routine tasks, maybe things that are easily handled by the systems, that's very beautiful. And I think the one thing that I'm trying to define for myself is how to be productive with AIs as well, right? Because you can spend quite a lot of time finding the edge and trying to maybe tweak and give the prompts and give the context, and it's getting better, but maybe there are better ways of getting there, right? So I think at this point I'm there, like, okay, how can I give the context in such a shorter version, but it will give me the better result? That's my take from AI. But overall I'm excited. But also I'm hearing a lot of people who are saying like the world is changing and the jobs will be gone and all of that. And maybe to the extent of the automatic jobs, yes. But in terms of building the connections, I also truly believe that we are all human beings and we're all looking for human beings as well. So we just need to find that way and balance, probably.
Another good thing is about the effect. I think AI should have some guardrails when it comes to the use of AI, especially for younger generations, and not being that influenced by the opinion of AI that tells your child what to do, what the good thing, what the bad thing, and kind of your child will start believing in it, because from not experienced mind, it's actually quite common that they get influenced by the technology. I think, we gotta be more, using AI safely.
I think critical thinking will be like on the top. Whatever information you are processing and consuming.
And then not everyone needs to be within the AI. So you can write this email yourself. You can write this social post yourself. Like it's not necessarily always have to go for the ChatGPT.
That's right. And sometimes I think nowadays seeing the error in the message suggests that probably the person didn't run it through the ChatGPT, etc., which is beautiful, I think, because we can be authentic us with all our ums and ahs in the podcast.
We've done hundreds of those today.
Yes, I think it is so beautiful that we can be still like not perfect, not just be us, authentic us, and it is powerful. I think it's to the extent of the conversations where, to the extent of the small talks. Like I think, especially when I moved to New Zealand, I tried to follow some like local news, rugby's, and local celebrities, and I hate to admit it, but I would forget the names.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we're talking about Formula One guy. I remember his face from the article I read, right? But I don't remember the name. And I'm like, oh God. And I stopped doing it. I'm like, if I can't remember it, first of all, it's not an area of interest, obviously, but because everyone around were talking about the rugby's and Formula, and I thought, I could like prepare myself for those small talks. It's not a big deal, right? I thought, but then I'm like, I'm gonna give up. I can talk about something else.
And again, it's all you do that all to feel like I want to be fitted in within my community around me, or I just want to be as everyone else. Like I just want to have this opportunity to connect with the audience, and these are the themes that will allow me to do so. But in reality, people are interested in your soul, your experience, your background, much more than the
And I'm like, I started noticing that the more I can be myself with people, the more I allow them to be with me, and same way it works for them. And me not knowing the local dramas, local news, I'm like, I can. Obviously, I'm curious. That curiosity is still there. If I meet a person, I would love to recognize it. But if I'm not remembering someone's name, I'm like, okay, it's fine. So I think for those who are really also getting through that stage, which I was, it's okay. You still can handle it. Yeah, that's right. But so talking, you asked the question. And
you asked me to ask the question.
Yes. That's a marketing trick,
There's no more questions. There's one practice, and I watched the Area of the CEO, one of the best entrepreneurship podcasts, and they do this in the end. They ask the question from the next guest, so we can do the same.
Yes. Okay.
So I feel like if you wouldn't be limited by how fast you can read, how fast you can type, and within your fingerprints, you won't be limited by any limitation. And you have those amazing technologies coming up in the AI. Like imagine that we are in the next generation of AI where it's even better, even fully understand your context and everything. What would you do? So I think that will be the next question for the next guest.
Yes, I'll address
ask him
that.
about.
That's a good question. And let's see what our next guest would say about it. And I will.
And all of us just left with this question, just asking ourselves every single day, what else can I do? How else I can stay more prepared, or how else I can do me, as you're saying, like on top of the changes, and just having this opportunity to stay more productive within your day-to-day life is the key. But we kept asking those questions, and I think it's the key, just to stay curious, to stay open for those technologies.
Yeah, and it's amazing what they can bring as well, right? And and be maybe just address the risks associated, and you'll be quite fascinated by the opportunities it brings, right?
Yes, 100%.
Oh yes, and I'd like to thank you, Gau, for being here. And I'm so excited that we finally had this time together. And thank you for your family who supported us to allow us 2 hours of our time to get this recorded. And I truly believe that what you do is really amazing and so exciting, and I'm excited for your journey. And I truly wish you all the best in your career and in your life. The networks that you are building is quite fascinating. So looking forward to see the next chapters of your journey, and good luck with your summit.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you. I appreciate your kind words, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity just to connect with you, connect with the audience, and actually share the stories. I hope somebody will find it useful. And within the age of AI, when any of the technologies, I think we shouldn't forget about again, as we've told ourselves a few times today, is truth, meaningful connections that we could build, and just being ourselves. I think that's the key.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for everyone if you're still here. And we're really, really excited about the things we've been talking through today. And I thank you for the time you spent with us. And I'd like to wish you to be on top of your changes, handle yourself authentically, and AI is one of the tools that can help you to get there more effectively, more productively, but at the same time, it helps you to be yourself and to express yourself more. So I wish you to the same. I wish you to express yourself more authentically, and all the best with your journey. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much for tuning into NovaSelfRISE. If you enjoyed the episode and found this journey inspiring, please give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment with your thought, and share it with someone who might benefit from it. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode full of real stories, deep connections, and purposeful insights. Stay connected, stay inspired, and keep rising. See you in the next episode.